Chris Pacquiao, teaching tax flow. First of all, thank you so much for watching this video. For those that have already subscribed to this YouTube channel, we truly appreciate you. And for those who haven't, definitely subscribe. We're going to continue to update you and empower you to legally and ethically reduce the tax you pay in your lifetime. The Internal Revenue Service just came out with this press release, which is the 28th press release of 2026. That's why it's IR 2026-28. We wanted to make a video on this because it is giving us guidance and additional guidance. There has already been a little bit of guidance on Schedule 1A. Schedule 1A is the new schedule that's going to be attached to your personal tax return, which is a Form 1040. And this Schedule 1A is how taxpayers can deduct one or two or three or all four of the new temporary tax deductions, good for 2025 filing year through 2028. We already know that this is part of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. We estimate 35 to 40 million taxpayers are going to file a Schedule 1A, and this Schedule 1A is going to increase deduction. So we absolutely anticipate a continued trend of higher tax refunds for the 2025 tax return, which some people consider the 2026 filing season being for the 25 tax return. So fresh from the IRS, as you're looking at right now, the Schedule 1A and instructions. We're going to pin the Schedule 1A in the description of this video. But Part 2 talks about the qualified tips. Now remember, qualified tips can be deducted up to $25,000, but there are phase outs. What a phase out means is that if you hit a certain income threshold, a portion of that deduction begins to slide away, and then at some point it is all phased out. Where a cliff is a little different in the tax law. Cliff means if you go $1 over the threshold, you get no deduction. So for qualified tips for modified adjusted gross incomes of $150,000 or $300,000 married joint, that's when the phase out begins. So you can claim this deduction if you have qualified tips on that Schedule 1A, and that could be for W-2 wages, could even be for self-employed. Part 3, which is the next part when we're talking about overtime. I'm going to scroll down a little. So you have to file married jointly if you are married to get this deduction. This is a maximum of $25,000 for married filing joint, or $12,500 otherwise. You can see there's a phase out there, the same phase out numbers as the qualified tips. Could you have qualified tips and overtime? Yes, you could. Could you have one spouse with qualified tips and one spouse with overtime? Absolutely, you could. So these new deductions aren't just a one or none situation. They can work together. What's important, though, is remember, the modified adjusted gross income is the driver in determining what your Schedule 1A deduction is. Part 4 talks about the car loan interest. So we know that if you have a qualified passenger vehicle, final assembled in the U.S., that was for personal use and purchased in 2025 as a new vehicle, you are eligible to deduct the vehicle loan interest. That maximum is $10,000, and there are phase outs on that as well. Finally, Part 4, so the fourth of the 4 new temporary deductions, remember, tips, overtime, car loan interest, and the new senior deduction. The new senior deduction is up to $6,000 per taxpayer, and you have to be 65 or older at the end of the year to be eligible for this deduction. You could have one taxpayer at 65 or older and the other, if you're a married joint, under 65 and get up to the $6,000. You could get up to $12,000 if you have both taxpayers 65 and older. Taxpayers that are married do have to file jointly to take this deduction, and there are income phase outs that are lower than the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. Now, could you be eligible for the new senior deduction and a tip deduction? Absolutely. Like I said, you could be eligible for one of these or all 4 of these deductions. So thanks again for your time. Definitely subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear your comments. Are you eligible for any of these deductions? Please leave a comment. We will absolutely reply to you. Have a great day. Take care.